Clouds TV, empowering lives.
We have been seeing the opposition, the United Opposition, injecting very badly. Like with Gachagua. Gachagua, went wrong on Northeastern leadership.
Yeah. That one of Northeastern, we had talked about it with you here about 1 year ago. I tried to explain what was happening, and a letter was sent to us by the cohesion people that I go to explain what I want, because I'm kind of bringing enmity between communities. But what I was discussing, because I think they didn't want to hear what I was saying, now they are listening to what I was saying. Because nobody is interested at all with the Somalia community. Nobody.
Even in what way?
Yeah, to fight the Somalia community.
Right.
This, we have lived with them.
Yeah.
If there is anybody, you look at the government, Kenyatta government,
they have been there.
They have been there. Muhammad Haji was a friend of Kenyatta, was a friend of Moi, was a friend of Uhuru, even their sons, even the one that is in the NSIS. These people, we have been friends. Kikuyus and Somalis, they have been working together because they are both business people.
Yeah.
What people are interested in, it is criminals in the community, just like we have criminals in the Kikuyu community or in the Kamba community. The rogue people like Ndura.
No, you cannot say that. That's a honest minister.
Yes, I don't care whether it's a minister or not. That is a problem to this nation. That is an agent of, he is an agent of anarchy.
Why do you say so?
Yes. Wherever he has gone, let me take you slowly. Wherever ministry he has gone, he was chased away from defense. The army said, no, we don't want him. They told Ruto, this man, we don't want him here. That is how this other lady was taken. End of investigation yako. They refused. He had been, wakati after GNC, alikuwa ametolewa. Tena akarudishwa akawekwa kwa defense. The army said, no, this man, we don't want him. Because it's a rogue person. It's a network of a few Somali people. If you ask him that all the days he was an MP, all the days that he was there in, this, and which school did he build? One. Tell me one school that is associated with Duale. He has been there as an assistant minister, as an MP, as a minister in the government here. Uhuru, he was there. Government here, Kibaki was there. The government here, Ruto, Akoko. Which is one school that he has raised to the status of a national school in Garissa, in Mandera? None. None. At all none. But look at his wealth. Look at his wealth. You go to Karen, a whole street, it is dwellers. Look at go to Eastleigh. Go even to Banana Kiambu. He has several flats there, but he has no single school he has contributed to build there. I remember when Jenga Karume was alive, many schools in Kiambu were constructed by Kina Jenga Karume, by Kina Gatabaki, those people, the prominent Kikuyu. They were the ones who were doing harambes to build schools. Go to Muranga, Kina Matiba, they were doing that. Equity guys, Monga, and the Kikuyu most educated people from Muranga.
The Kikuyu old guard.
Yeah, the old guards. They're the ones who, even today, they're the ones who are doing the schools. This thing we see in Didinyoro, it is not Didinyoro 100%. The elite Kikuyus are the ones who are building these schools, financing Didinyoro, because Kikuyus knows how to build a person for future use. They are building, the Muranga people, they are building their own leader. The Nyeri people, they have built their own leader. Then you go to Meru and all the places, and Kiambu. Kiambu is a bit shaky, but other places they have the rich people in Kikuyu land. They pick one of their sons. They build him for future purposes, for the protections. So they will do that by making him look a leader. by making him do things that will please people, that even when they will come and say, this is a man we want, everybody will agree with them. These schools were not merely done by the NG something. They were not merely done, but they were contribution from Equity Bank, contribution from Family Bank, contribution from rich people. Because Murang'a, we have top-notch people. We have people owner, the financiers are from Murang'a, economists are from Murang'a. People, rich people, they come from one village. Almost all of them, they come from one village. One is from this Ngambo, another one from here. Those are the people who are behind Didinyoro and have made Didinyoro to become, and that is the policy of Akikuyu. Now, what Wamunyoro was asking, and I agreed with him because this question I had asked, me I was misunderstood, but now he's understood. He's asking, show us one school that you've done with the money that has been given to you. Yes, you will say, previously during the Kenyatta regime and the Moi regime, these people were marginalized. But from 2013, there was this equalization fund, and they were given more. They were given more than Kikuyu land. They were given more than Kisii land. They were given more than Luya land, because the place was classified as marginalized. So with 160 billion, no school at all. I've told you, 90% of schools in Kikuyu land were constructed by politicians who are business people. Me, myself, from the area, Kamolo, a place called Kiambereria. Kiambereria Primary School, I am the one who constructed it. Are you getting me? I am the one who constructed the school while I was in Mungiki because I wanted to vie for a seat. So I did the construction. I did 4 classes. Now there are several classes. There are many classes. And even after that, a secondary school was built up by the member of parliament, Kuria. He came and did a secondary school, full-fledged, did a borehole, everything, brought electricity, everything. But a foundation of that secondary school and that primary school, it is me. And I'm not wealthy as Duale. And those days I was a young boy. Are you getting me? So this kind of development and this Muslim brotherhood they have, why are there no brothers in Muslim who will just go to their land there and deliberately build schools, even if there are no school, the children, just do schools, do nice hospitals. They have nice hospitals in Isli. They have nice hospitals in South B, South C. They have nice hospitals in Nairobi. They have nice hospitals. Even you go to Thika, they have nice hospitals. They're the one running the petrol station, top petrol stations, all of them. Go to Murang'a, go down there to Nanyeri, all the top petrol stations you find there, this Nakuru Road, Namanga Road, I belong to Akina Duare group, the total petrol stations. Do you want to tell me that they don't have a CSR? That they can contribute towards to build a school there, to build a hospital there? In fact, if with all the wealth they have, they can be having the best cancer hospital in Africa. If we go by the wealth, the money they are saying, the money they have stolen from Minnesota, the money they have stolen from other countries. Do you know what they do? When they go, well, maybe because of the hardships, the American embassies had a soft policy for them that they can easily be given after they qualify to be given for maybe a green card or a visa to go to Germany, to go to America. They will go with 4 wives. 5 wives, 8 wives. Then they will make sure the man becomes a machine to produce. This was said by Duare. They are doing whatever they are doing in bedroom. That is where they're increasing their number. They will do whatever. If you have 8 wives, produce each to give you 6 children. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
That's around 40. Then you go claim to the government there in Europe, a child is rightfully given like $1,000 per month. So if you have 50, that's how much? $56,000. That is what they send. That's what they used to send. And so many other activities that they do there. They are good. This is good. It's good. They're smart. We can't complain about them. They are smart. They know how to look for money. I also know how to look for money. They are smart. But why aren't they willing to develop their land? Why would somebody come and build a nice petrol station in Murang'a, a nice petrol station along Sagana Road, do a nice supermarket in Nyeri, do a nice supermarket in Kisii, and don't do something good for your community?
Maybe that area is not conducive for business.
There was no area that is ever conducive. You make it. You make it. Nairobi was not existing. It was created. And the people came and stayed there. Many towns you see here, they were not there. If you go, let's example, you've been here in Nairobi quite some time.
Yeah.
By 2009, 2013, you've been in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Was bypass existing?
It wasn't there. Actually,
there was no road.
I used to live in Kayota at that time, and it was so empty.
It was so empty. There was no road in northern bypass, southern bypass. There was no road.
Yeah.
But you go there now, it is a city by itself. Banks are there. Markets are there. People are thriving in market there. These guys are buying land there. Instead of going to build Garissa, instead of going to build Moyale, they are doing here. Why would you abandon your area? Kikuyus never abandoned their area. Kisis, they never abandoned Keroka, they never abandoned Nyamira, they never abandoned Keroka, the Luyas the same, the Kambas the same. Why did you abandon your area to come and reside in Nairobi? All the governors from there, they live in Nairobi. They operate. When they issued a statement, they issued a statement that belongs, that is pertaining to their land. They gave it in Nairobi. Again, the person who was calling for arrest of Gachagua, it is this goon, Faramarim. This goon called Faramarim is the one that will say that the Gen Z should have been killed. And as someone was issued, he never attended, he never went there. You can see now the controversy and the question, the pertinent question every Kenyan is asking is, why haven't you developed your land? We have no problem with Nairobi. Nairobi is for everybody. Nairobi is for everybody. Indians are here, Nigerians are here, the Cameroon people are here, the Eritreans are here, the Ethiopians are in Nairobi. Nairobi is for everybody. But despite the Nairobi for being Kikuyus, ukienda weekend Thika Road, there is a traffic jam. Kikuyus going home. When we see Garissa Road iko na jam, Maoria wakienda kwao nyumbani.
Maybe how you combine
haiko pali, there are airstrips and there is no ndege haziendi huko because hakuna customer. Unakuta ndege kama sasa ukitaka kwenda Turkana, you have to wait for a week. You have to book a week. Ukienda Turkana. Ukitaka kwenda Garissa, you have to book 2 weeks. Because ndio ndege ijae. Because there is no frequency of movement. Are you seeing that? You build your own place. You build, like now, Konza City. Konza City, it was just a land. Nobody was there. Now it's a town.
It started during Kibaki's.
Yes, now it's a town. Buildings are coming up. It was not there. Go to Namanga. The other day, Namanga was just playing. You see, their skins are there. They're the ones who are doing business there. Why did you abandon your area? So for Duale, I saw him the other day. Akisema ati, why so much on the Somalis? We are not so much on the Somalis. Nobody is interested with the Somalis at all. As Somalis, our brothers. Question we are asking, where is the equalization fund money? Where is it? Can you show us, before you come to tell us that you're a leader, you're a minister, listen, go and investigate. The other day the report came. Most of the share money went to hospitals that are in Garissa, that are in Mandera. Go there, there is no hospital. There is no hospital there that claimed for the same. So how can we entrust the leadership of this nation by people who have not entrusted their people with their development? That's a question. That's a question. Again, the money that was sent to Garissa, it is my money. The equalization fund, it is my money. the tax I gave to the government was sent there. I want to know where is my money? Where did they take my money to? That is the question Duale should know. Awaje kurukaruka. That's the question we are asking. That is my money, your money. Akikuyu money, Aluo money, Aluya money, Akisi money that was collected to go and develop our brothers, the land of our brothers, to develop them, to uplift them so that we can move at the same speed. We agreed through the Constitution of Kenya to support our brothers, which is that's the role of a citizen of any nation, that I will contribute towards my brother, fellow citizen, wherever they are. If it's a Turkana, I support them. If it's a Luo, I support using my taxes. So the question we are asking, before you come to lecture anybody, we want to know where is our money. That is what we are asking. We want to know, Junet, we want to know where is our money. Because you will cough, this money you will cough. We will not allow them.
So what do you think it's a game plan?
The game plan for who?
For, the Somali...
The game plan is that they want to rule this nation. And not the Somali community as per se.
Yeah.
The few clique. Like Kina Duale, Kina Junet. They are just trying to implement the ABUJA declaration. The ABUJA thing. By making sure East Africa is Islam dead. You go to Central Africa, South Africa, climbing to North Africa. All the agenda is to make sure that Africa is an Islam state. That just as they have done to Minnesota, as they have done to England. I was in Britain and I went to North London and I found they have captured, they did even a huge demonstration in the streets of London. The Muslim fraternity, because they want now they feel they are strong enough. They want Sharia law to be there because they feel they are strong enough now. They have been taken all the position, but out of the 14 mayors, 7 were from the Muslim. If you go to Netherlands, the same. You go to Sweden, it was the same. Until Netherlands and Sweden, they deported them. And unfortunately, again, these people had not come from Kenya. They are not Kenyans. They are Somalis of Somalis. Instead of being deported to Somalia, they are deported to Saudi B and Saudi C and Italy. Yes. All the ones that are being deported from America, they are deported back here in Kenya.
But don't you think there is nothing wrong with Kenya having a Muslim president?
There is no wrong anything. I was a Muslim myself. My brother, I was a Muslim. I was Ibrahim. Before I left being Ibrahim, is because of what I went through and the kind of people that I met, Akina Muhammad Kubwa, Akina Dor, Akina Osama bin Laden, Akina these are the people I met who received me in the Muslim. I became a Muslim at Sakina Mosque in Mombasa. The first thing they introduced to me is terrorism. That is the time you found that instead now of the people from Somalia being the suicide bombers, you started hearing it is Ismail Mugambi, it is Mohammed Wanyonyi. Because they took advantage of vulnerability.
Okay, let's continue.
They took advantage of vulnerability that these young people were going through, and then they committed them, promised them that once you die for God, you will get 72 virgins, you become rich, you'll be living with God, you'll be doing all these things. And now Muhammad Wanyonyi, when he had their 72 virgins, they became mad. We find there is Ismail Kasioki, and you know Wakamba with these people. You'll be getting 72 virgins. Maisha London. Wacha nikufe niondokee shida hapa. And the many people you killed, the more closer you come to God. That was the teachings we were being taught. I was in class. I was taken through that class. I refused. After 1 week, I was with my Kinamaina Jenga and the rest. Then we posed a question to them. I posed a question to Muhammad Kuba, who was killed, and asked him, "Sir, you are telling me about the virgins. Wow, He said, Allahu Akbar. They are 72. You go to bed with them. Once you get out, becomes a virgin. Returns to virginity. You go enter. Once you get out, returns 72 forever. Virgin, 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 forever. Then you live in a golden house where God will be coming to your garden and be sitting around with you as you have your breakfast. And it was Allahu Akbar. They were telling Allahu because they thought I am agreeing with them. Because I started by agreeing with them. Then at the tail end of the question, I asked him, Muhammad, why aren't you interested in going? Why do you want me to go? I leave you behind. Then they said, I've done something wrong. Nilimuuliza, wewe, mbona hutaki hiyo maisha?
Why don't you want to go?
Why don't you want to go? You want me to go. Why don't you want to go? Kwa nini hutaki kuenda? Upate virgin 72, upate shamba, upate nyumba ya gold, ukaage na Mungu kwa compound every morning anakutembelea mnakunywa chai na yeye. Why don't you want to go? Wow. Thus immediately they declared fatwa on me. Fatwa is a spiritual warfare. They will stone you to death. They declared that. But because we had many Mungeke members, we beat them thoroughly. Tuliwacharasa vizuri. Unajua wale ni watu wa mchere, sisi ni watu wa mtokoni. Tuliwanyorosa na tukatoroka, tukakuja kwa moyo. So, in a nutshell, what I'm saying, there is a hidden agenda of ruling this nation by another hand that is not interested to make the country become proud. For them, they are working. That's why they have schemes. They will enter into all political parties to make sure they work from the political parties, but they have a unique agenda. That is why you see Junet will make sure sabotage Raila, his close friend, sabotage. That is why Duale yuko pande ingine, they will go fundraise, they will go Minnesota and tell all their people to raise money because they are soon taking over Kenya. It is not wrong to have a Somali president. I would want to have one. It's not wrong to have a Kisii president. It is not wrong to have a Luhya president. It is not wrong to have a Turkana president. In any case, we need them. But the shrewdness into this, you saw what happened in Tanzania. You could see how the Tanzania youth were killed by the Muslim agenda. And this is what I was worrying, because they will introduce Sharia law and they will make sure whatever you do, wherever you go, it is Sharia law. Go to Isli now. They stopped, there's a time I send you an article that was written, all the hawkers were stopped. They were told never to do hawking. The Quran does not allow hawking. Who are the hawkers? Are the Kambas, are the Kikuyus, and the Luyas? They're the hawkers. So they were stopped because a mall has been built. By who? By somebody who is with the money from Minnesota. Number two, the president of Somalia came to open the mall. The president of Kenya was not there. The governor was not there. The minister of foreign affairs was not there. Nobody was there. But a president flew all the way to Isli. Number two, the power that they wield changed the law in Isli. Isli, they was not supposed to build high rises because of the airbase.
The Moi
airbase. But now, tall buildings are there carelessly, and nobody stopped them from doing so because Duale was the minister for defense. Now, they have to shift Isli airbase to somewhere else, to Nanyuki. And this was an airbase that was supposed to protect our nation. Strategically built there because of our capital city. We have Langata, we have, this is KR, so something KR, 23 KR. We have there along, going to Nakuru, there's another station there. We have Vikaru, the Kahawa Barracks, and there, Njugundas, ABC, there ABC, Kabete, there's an army base there. In all these strategic entries, we had an air base, an army base. Therefore, we have Isli as an air base. This is your artillery. This is the one for the Langata is artillery. You go to down there, These are the people that will fight gunshots, fight this artillery one. All these are strategically placed. We go to Karen. We have the school in Karen.
Yeah.
We have also an underground base in Karen. All these are strategically positioned to protect our nation, to protect our capital city. But the one that can protect us from the air has now been rendered useless because of our policy, because of interests that are not meant for this nation. And this is the most drastic thing, the worst thing, to have these people. And it's not the entire community. Very few, and they're not even more than 100 people who are gluttonous, people dangerous for this nation, people who does not care as long as they are rich, as long as they are taking everything. They have opened the Somali route where counterfeits are coming to Kenya. You go to Isili, when the sugar on the other streets is sold 120, Isili is 60 bob. Nguo hapa huko vile tunauziwa nguo 1000 bob, Isili is 200 bob. Why? Because they have access. If you want to bring your goods from any part of the world, you just patiana kule, you go to Isili, pick them. No problem. Clearance has been done. Isili, all the business people, they collect their goods from Isili. What is this good? What is this touch that they have that other people cannot have? That was the question. The crooked people in that community. That is what we are after.
So the entire community, the community is not bad.
Yes.
The Somali people,
the best
I'm actually
people.
married from
Let me tell
one of them.
My manager in one of my farms, the accountant, is a Somali, my good friend. He will. I used to go and bully everybody in my office. He stood firm. He told boss, we are your employees, but we cannot run this organization the way you want. There are protocols to run this organization. For you to get profits, for you to get this must be done. He advised me. He stopped me from my bulliness. And now that company is thriving. He is the head of that company. He goes to London, he goes to South Africa, representing the interests of the company. I have never questioned him. He does the best.
Actually, my wife also comes from that side.
Yes, I know. I was at your wedding.
Now, they are not bad.
They are good people.
But there are a few people.
What? The Duares, the Junets, a person who can do anything, who can betray a friend. Just betray Baba. That man betrayed Baba with Salah. They betrayed Baba. And the Baba stood with him in Newland. He got him elected in Newland. Those are the wrong people that we are interested, and we are going to face them. Finally, tuachane na hiyo ya watu. It's becoming personal now. Finally, we have this issue of Gachagua and the churches, the raids.
Yeah.
Wamunyoro, the other time I talked about Wamunyoro, people thought that I'm fighting Wamunyoro. If there is anybody that has worked with Wamunyoro, it's me. From the days it was the impeachment and everything, I will tell you everything that is going to happen, this will happen, this will happen, and it happened. The issue of the attacks in churches where he is going, remember Ruto had come there, he gave up people a lot of money, then Wamunyoro went there. Wamunyoro is being trapped. He's being trapped. Ruto is working on 3 prongs of politics. One prong, building an image that is good to everybody. Another prong, dealing with one community, the Gikuyu community, telling them. Another prong, dealing with leaders who can be of challenge to him. Remember when they were saying, Ndura was saying, that the only person who could have challenged them was Raila. Meaning, he is gone. So I am happy he is gone. He was in your government, but he said he is gone now. This is the only person who could have challenged us. Now we don't care. The rest we can be able to handle. So inside them, the death of Raila was a happiness. So whatever that is happening with Gachagua, the verdict, I don't know whether it was done today, They were to remove the impeachment and then prop him to become more stronger than Kalonzo. And then through intelligence services, they tell Gachagua, you have to vie. You are the best. You are the only one who can remove Ruto from the seat. You are the only one. You are the strong one. You are a powerful. You are a commander. Then they destroy the unity of the opposition. So when you see the government is fighting you, they are trying to build you. They're trying to raise you up so that you can demean the others. So when you come to the unity of the community or the unity of the opposition leaders, Wamunyoro will feel entitled.
Yeah.
I am the most popular, so I am the one who is supposed to go. Then through the intelligence services, they will collapse.
So that's the game plan?
That's the game plan. They are ballooning him. They are building him. They are making him on a police pressure. Is the only threat. Yeah, Ruto.
Yeah.
Yes.
How come we don't see Matiang'i being attacked in Kisii?
He is not attacked. The rest will not. Hata Kalonzo akienda Sugoi, he will not be attacked. He will be left there. The most dangerous person in this mathematics is Kalonzo. He's loved by everybody. He's there for everybody. The by-election in kwa Wamudende, it was deliberately done because of Wamunyoro. Anything that the attack you are seeing, wherever you are seeing, it is because of because they want to build Wamunyoro the way they build Matiba and Kibaki. So that Kibaki died, Matiba died. Remember, when Matiba we had the Ford the original Ford. When Matiba was coming from abroad, then Jaramogi was the one who was supposed to take over.
Yeah.
But they propped Matiba. Jirongo did that. They propped, when Matiba came to the airport, the Kanu people, Bango, kila Matiba for president. Matiba, billboards were done by people they don't know. It's Jirongo who did all those billboards.
Actually, Lee Njiro.
Yeah. Yes. It is Jirongo who did the billboards for Matiba. It is Jirongo who did the placards for Matiba, the t-shirts for Matiba, to make Matiba feel he's more popular than Oginga.
Yeah.
So when they went, then Oginga said he's the one that's going to run. Matiba said it's me. Oginga said it's me, and Matiba said it's me. Then they split for the city and for the regional.
Okay.
Getting me? Yeah. So there was for the city and for the regional. For the city went with Matiba. Let the people decide. Right? Oginga went the other side. Akina Shikuku backed Matiba. That is how they were separated. Now the same game. Remember, then Jirongo was the head of Kan Youth. Yeah. Ruto was the head. Mutu Amukono. They're the ones who. Ruto was the one who was planning. So whatever that is happening is a replica of what happened in those days.
So they're propping up Gachagua.
Yeah, they are propping up Gachagua. He'll be atawekwa pumusi, akuko pumusi, awekwa pumusi, afule kichwa. Alafu intelligence will send him money. Utatumwa sasa wanasiasa wataenda kumpatie pesa, akuwe na pesa mingi. Akikuwa na pesa mingi, then now atakuja bully. He will bully Matiang'i, he will bully everybody, he will bully Kalonzo. Then kina Matiang'i, Kalonzo will decide and say, let us form our own, wachana na yeye. Now we'll have Kikuyus with the Wamunyoro and the rest of the country with the Kalonzo, and the Ruto will come. That's the game plan.
And is Gachagua aware of it?
Gachagua cannot and will not be aware of it. He is now full of himself.
Maybe when he watches this video, maybe.
He will watch, he watches, he really watches. Yeah. But he's full of himself. If I was Gachagua, I will continue with my campaign, but with a sober mind. With complete sober mind. Because the impeachment is going to be removed. And there will be two plans by Ruto. Either they will use the court, because he's in control of the court, to demand his return to the government. And the Ruto will be more than willing to bring him back in the government to disorient the opposition. Or he will refuse to get, if he refuses to get into the government, then what will happen? He will be given money. He will be supported, and he will become so popular in Kikuyu land. So popular. All the Meru people will be behind him. And many people will come and tell him, you vie. Wachana na Kalonzo. Kalonzo ni madoadoa. Kalonzo ni watermelon. Kalonzo ni nini. Kalonzo ni nini. Matiangi wachana na yeye. Awezani. All those kind. And he will be like, it is him. And because money will be poured to him, he will be able to say, I have my 10 billion for my campaign here. And that will be money from Ruto.
Well,
yes.
So the biggest threat in that opposition is not even Gachagua.
Not Gachagua, it's Kalonzo. Kalonzo will win by 3 million votes ahead of Ruto. He will be ahead by 3 million votes. If it's well organized, well projected, and if they allow somebody neutral to become their father.
So is this somebody neutral?
Somebody neutral who can become a good father to them, to all of them, is Uhuru Kenyatta.
But then we want to follow ati Gachagua nitakutana na Uhuru. Is this true?
Yes, washakutana. Washakutana. It's phone call. This was alikuwa mtu ya manager, sikuwa manager kwa familia ya Uhuru. Si ni mtu wa kazi.
They've already met.
They have already met. And they have been meeting.
So ni vile tujafika kwa public.
Ni vile sasa the first meeting, the agreement to talk to him, it was discussed in Abuja.
When
Kalonzo and the Uhuru,
yes, the crossover.
Yes. That is when it was fully discussed, agreed, and then they are talking now. They are formulating a formula who will be what and how. But they are skeptical of whether there will be an election or not. Because without the change of the constitution, without of delimitation of the boundaries, we are not supposed to have an election. That's mandatory. That's constitutional. That's a requirement. So Ruto knows that. He may be playing around with them. You can see of late Ruto is amekuwa na confidence, is moving, and is giving this 50 million or 500 million kwa county agenda Murang'a. Hiyo ni ile kama ile pesa ya Jirongo ya KANU youth. Si sasa wanapatia youth. Sinaona ni KANU youth. KANU youth. Sasa wameanza they are moving from county to county. Nyota. That is youth for KANU 92. Nyota.
So at the end of the day, Gachagua ameshakutana na Uhuru. They have discussed on who maybe would be the running mate of who and who's going to be the flag bearer.
Yes. So if that will
if the elections would happen.
If the elections will happen, and how long can it be sustained? And how much is intelligence going to work to split these guys? Because they are working day and night to make sure they split this guy. They don't bring this guy together. The issue is about make Gachagua run for himself alone, or make JB Moturi. We have other people. Let's have 3 horses. That's the formula they are working for. Let's have 3 horses. They are not happy with the 2 horses. They are working for 3 horses, and that is why you see there is another grooming of Waruinge and Ndidi Nyoro. That is NSIs. What happens? The NSIs will not come and tell you, we are grooming you. To the interest of the NSIs, they're the one who now they cluster. How do we make this Ruto win? How now is they will give Ruto, this is Ruto, he must win at all cost. We have Waruinge here, we have Plug here, we have somebody here. Now, these people, how this one is strong. The one that can win this election, they do a survey and an opinion is done and they get the genuine opinion. They send for the genuine from the ground. Now, they don't do that. They don't do propagandas. They do a genuine one. So from this genuine one, they know Kalonzo is the one likely to defeat Ruto. Now, how do we deplete Kalonzo? It is by now, who is a bully here? The bully is Wamonyoro.
Yeah.
Now, they make sure, how do we do? Do we eliminate him? We can do an assassination. That's number 1. We can make him sick like Matiba. Number 2. We can do this. Number 3. We can do this. Number 4. We can prop him. we finance his campaigns.
Afure
kichwa. Ndio tumupiganishe na huyu. So ile wanaona this is workable, that is what the route they will use. They go to Kalonzo. They plant their people inside Kalonzo. Then Kalonzo will be told, nothing short of president. This is your time. No negotiation. This is your time. And here the money is here. And you are given money from friends. Friends who come from Dubai, friends who come from all over, they will send money to him. Then he feels, I got the money. So I don't need Wamunyoro. I can penetrate. Then they will build rallies for Kalonzo in Nyeri. They will build rallies for Kalonzo in Muranga. The NSIs. They can swell this, the whole ground. Ijae watu 40,000. Akikuja nakuta the ground imekuwa prepared well for him. Sasa atafeel ameng'oa Wamunyoro. Naye Matiang'i naye kule Kisii, something will be happening to him. This is the work of the intelligence. They work for the interest of a particular. The NSIs, they are the one who decides who will become. Even if you campaign well, you campaign not well, if they feel you are a threat to the nation, you are a threat to the systems, whatever they have, they will make sure they remove you. Do you remember there's a time, maybe this is a parting shot, do you remember there's a time who used to sneak out of State House in the night?
Yeah.
And he will go to Galileo, he will go to Impala, he will go to Njugunas. Do you know what happened? They waited and he went to Impala. And because he had become rogue, he was sneaking in the night. And the Galileo guy, Gatia, used to come and pick him and they go with him in the night and then come back in the night. They went and stage managed, they knew that he's in Impala. They stage managed a robbery in Impala. A robbery. And the gunshots. Who was there lying down on his belly?
A whole president.
Then from there he was picked, taken back to hospital. Ngatia was also picked, but taken to a jail. He stayed for 6 months without knowing where he is. And he was told never again to be seen near Uhuru. Because this is a public...
This is a statesman.
It's a statesman. You are picking this man in the night, sneaking out.
Without protocol.
Without protocols. He was punished severely. And Uhuru from then, he never went out without permission. That is how intelligence is supposed to work. They can even kill a person. Let me give you another example. I don't know whether it is true, but it's my thinking. Sometimes back, during the Kibaki time, Mother Karua Oginga went to Kibera, and everybody was saying Unga. Unga. There was like an Unga revolution. People were angry. Wanitaka chakula. Hakukuwa na unga. They were, for the first time, Luo shouted at Raila, Unga, 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 Unga. And this, according to the systems, that's very dangerous when you have the stomach revolution. It is very bad. Then do you know what happened? All of a sudden, your guess is as good as mine. All of a sudden, Nakumat downtown, ikachomeka. All of a sudden, Kibaki, the whole state Saitoti, they went there. And they promised a DNA. A DNA for the first time that was done within 2 weeks. For the first time in history in Kenya. And they said ni fault ya stima, ni nini. Later on, haikuwa fault ya stima, haikuwa nini. Mpaka saa hii haijulikana. After that, watu tena wakaanza kutuchao tuunga. After a week or 2 weeks, watu wakasahau na hiyo. Sariga, watu wakachomeka. Do you remember that saga?
Yeah, I remember.
It came out 1 month later. Sariga ikachomeka.
But that could just be coincidence.
I'm saying, your guess, I'm just thinking loudly. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not insinuating that kuna watu walichoma. Ama kuna nini ilifanyika. There are things will happen naturally to save something. So, watu wakachomekea huko. The president yakaenda, the whole state, unakumbuka mama Lucy akitukanana. At how can the red people run a lesson? And after that, ilikuwa mwezi wa February. Mwezi wa 3 mvua ikanyesha, terere ikamea, watu wakasahau na manyumba zikaacha kuchomeka. That is parting short. Yes.
So the issue of Babu Owino.
So Babu Owino, if the formula ya Wamunyoro na Kalonzo will not work, the formula ya nani Babu itakuja juu sana. Watashika sasa the youth, because the youth is a real problem to the government.
Yeah.
They want to who is capable of containing these people. So they will create a president for them. So even if they take 2 million away from the main 10 million, Ruto is safe. The formula is to work on how to, like now when uko kwa Wamudende, Kuria went with his party and he was able to take 2,000 votes. That's how they won. It is Kuria who defeated.
And actually, his candidate was part of Gachagwa's camp.
Yes.
Before he went to Kuria's side.
Yes, then they were given money by Ruto to go and campaign there. They were able to take 2,000 votes. That is politics. Politics is about planning. Politics is not about talking. It's about planning. And if you can look at the confidence that Ruto has now, it can tell you there is something that he knows we don't know.
But still on that issue of Babu Owino, we have been seeing people debating on who should take over ODM.
Yes.
Babu Owino has been at the forefront saying, baada ya baba ni babu. Oginga ameshindwa na kazi.
Yes.
Ni mzee.
Yes.
What is your take about that?
So, if maybe like now you find that okay, now Orengo takes over, because Orengo is really working hard to take over the party and his group. What will be used to spoil anything that can bring the formation of ODM together? If the government finds that these people cannot be, this party cannot be taken because of the fragmentations, what they will do, they will use Babu to destroy the whole thing, and they will register a political party for Babu immediately, so that all the people can be taken to Babu. Once they are taken to Babu, then they can have a negotiation from that angle. So you see, like now the Oginga family are perpetuating their father, what they used to intimidate, to bully, then get into the government, get money. That is what Winnie and the mother is doing. Oburu was being used because they thought the Luo would respect Oburu. But down there on the ground, there is this Omolo who is also doing his work, and Omolo has his cartels and the people that are working together. So what will happen is that if they find that the formula A is not working, formula B will work, formula C will work. So Babu is a part of the formulas that they are trying. The Ida's family is another formula, and the Oburu family is another formula. They have 3 formulas, while they have their main formula, Omolo. Yeah, that's the main formula, unchanged. So what they will do is to make sure they create enmity, they create a fight from Babu, Oburu, Winnie, and all. They fight as Omolo is crafting a new formation from the ground. Yes. So every time you see past people racing, at some point utakuta there is a force behind them that is racing for a particular reason. That is why we have NSIs. NSIs is the brain of the nation. All what they do is to bring stability, not to support any particular candidate. For them, it's about the stability. For them, it's about if the president becomes so wrong, they races somebody. Like now the Gen Z, part of the 80% of the Gen Z, it was instigated by the NSIS. It was not just homogeneous, something that ilitokelezea hivyo. Ruto had become so rogue. They wanted to tame him. Yes, when Uhuru became so rogue, he was tamed. That's the work of any intelligence system in the world. They balance the equation of the nation. They cool. When it becomes so hot, they bring something to cool down. They can even assassinate 10 people. Ndio kutulia.
Why?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we are still on Babu's case. Do you think he deserves the leadership of ODM?
He deserves because he's a leader. He's a self-made leader. But if I were him, just as I said the other time, if I were him, I would not go for the governor seat. I'll go for a deputy seat, a deputy governor seat. Then support a Kikuyu.
But why a Kikuyu?
Kikuyu have come to realization that they were conned in the previous elections. They have never had a governor in Nairobi, and they're the one who are controlling the economy of Nairobi. They are the majority. They were conned that we had a Sifuna, who is a lawyer, elected in ODM by the Kikuyus, because there are those Kikuyu who supported Uhuru. And we have Johnson Koskei Sakaja, who is a lawyer, a Pokot, as about. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Some parts of Sakaja, the lawyers who know him to the name Sakaja, they know he's a lawyer. But he goes deeper. The Kalenjins who were in Nairobi, they voted for him because he's a Sabaot. So Kikuyu realized they were cheated because they had their own in Jubilee. Alikuwa naitwa Polycarp Igade. They could have elected him. So that has become a topic of discussion. And this time around, that one you can take it to the bank. A Kikuyu will be a governor.
And who is this Kikuyu governor?
I don't know. He will be selected by the Council of Elders. The Council of Elders, and this is, it will not be a political game. Not political game. It will be a pure tribal. Pure tribal. And they will be looking for one person to support them. Me, if I were Babu, because Babu has a potential of becoming the president of this nation, I will ride on the back of the Kikuyus. I will support Kikuyus this time because I know the Kikuyus will support me next time. He will not become a governor. He can jump from deputy governor to the presidency. It is possible.
Okay.
Yes. And he will have time to build networks and to build much money. Because he's smart, he can be able to maneuver, he can be able to work well. And if it's a Kikuyu that will become a governor, Kikuyus are not hands-on. They will leave much power to him.
So Babu Wino has a potential of becoming the president.
He's got good potential if he takes his time.
If he calculates
If he calculates well. But if he tries to antagonize, he will not become any. He will lose. He will be popular, yes, but he won't make it. And that will be the end of him, because the power that be will make sure that they have destroyed him. But if he becomes a friend of the power that be, and then he is in a position, he will rise.
Now, the last question tukimalizia. Currently kwa internet, watu wanauliza 2026, what should Kenyans wait? Huku tupatia prophecy ya 2026.
Ni siku apatia because you disappeared, na alafu na mimi nilienda kwa mlima.
Kutoka mlimani sasa tuambie Mungu anakuambia.
The thing is, I don't want to be a prophet of doom, but there will be several assassinations. And I told you that there will be several assassinations, and also there will be betrayals in the political circles, a lot of betrayals, prominent betrayals. But again, kutakuwa na maandamano kama ile agency. Along the way, tukienda hivyo kutakuwa na maandamano. It will greatly determine what Kasongo will become after the maandamano. And the chances are there will be no election. 2027, we might not have the election because the constitution will stop that election. The court will stop the elections because we will not have changed the constitution. We will not have done boundaries delimitations. We will not have done many things that are required to be in the constitution as of now. Therefore, the challenges will be that we'll have a kind of a confusion created by Ruto. Ruto will ride on the confusion. And at the end of the day, what we'll have a consensus government. There's chance, a possibility of having a consensus government, a caretaker government, where Ruto will continue to be the president, and then the opposition will give a deputy president as the constitution is being checked on. Meaning, Ruto will have an extended term. If we don't push, I'm not saying it will happen that way, if we don't push for a constitution change now, in any way, whether we have a constitution change now or not, we'll have an extension.
An extension of how many years?
Most probably 2.
So 7 years?
Yeah, and if he manages to get that, forget about presidency again. He will become a dictator, like Kagame, or like his friend here. Have you ever realized that the same color that Museveni uses is the same color that Ruto uses?
What color?
Yellow. And did you remember that Ruto at some point went to campaign for Museveni?
Yeah, as deputy.
And do you remember that Ruto congratulated Suluhu?
Yeah. And he even congratulated Museveni. He was the first one.
He was the first one. Let's go back one. Let's go to football. The semi-finals, the quarter-finals were done in Tanzania.
Yeah.
Semi-finals in Uganda. Finals were done in Kenya. Here. And I remember what this guy said. Farah. What did he say? About the bomb, the nuclear bomb tested. If Iran tests.
Oh, yeah, alisema, if Iran tests its nuclear bomb, this world will never be the same again.
He's saying, if we, the Muslims here, the Somalis here, test our capacity towards this nation will never be the same again. They've been working for that. They are already on it. They're just waiting for the precious moment to do something that will make everybody feel these people are here. Thank you.
Bethel Clouds TV, empowering lives.